Hello everyone, hope you're well. Jack Reeve, TalkNorwichCity here. Welcome back to another video and welcome back to Transfer Deadline Day. I feel as if Transfer Deadline Day used to be a big thing, didn't it? The yellow ties, the hustle and bustle of fans and reporters outside of grounds. And now it just feels like a normal Monday with not very much happening. Maybe I'm feeling slightly more detached from it than usual because Norwich City aren't doing too much business. I just don't feel like it's much of a big thing anymore. I'm really looking forward to talking about how the transfer window has gone for Norwich City, what we can expect in the last few hours, or if you're watching this, what you have come to see over the last few hours of Transfer Deadline Day. Before we get into that though, I just want a quick mention to Manscaped. I know you love Manscaped, but I'm going to give them a quick mention once again. Today's video is sponsored by them. Valentine's Day quickly approaching. Couple of weeks until Valentine's Day. And Manscaped, good little gift for the men in your life, or to purchase for yourself, so you're feeling good. They've brought out a new perfume aftershave type thing. Genuinely smells very good. And the box, look at the box, opens up like that. Oh goodness, smells great. So a big fan of that. They've also got the Weed Whacker, which is just a brilliant name in itself, an electric nose and ear hair trimmer. They are the go-to people for male grooming. You can get 20% off all of their stuff on the website. Links in the description. Use the code TNC at checkout. 20% off and free delivery. I use their stuff all the while. It's genuinely brilliant. Well worth a look. Male grooming. Over 4 million men worldwide use it. If 4 million men use it, trust them. Take a look. Link in the description. Thanks to Manscaped. Norwich City, where are we at? Well, I kind of wish that this international break, winter break thing didn't come when it did, because we were really in the groove. We were winning football matches. We were scoring goals. Life was rosy. Josh Sargent was, it had turned into the Pele of America that came to Norfolk with good things to give. And it's kind of just petered out a little bit because we haven't seen us play for a little while. I just kind of wish that them league games were coming, but thankfully it may look like we might have Matthias Norman back in time for Crystal Palace, or at least nearly at full fitness. So it does mean that we've at least got some rest into the legs of some of our injured players. However, it also raises other questions because Norwich are now well in it. They are in with a chance of survival. They're not too far away from, they're out of the bottom three at this point. I know that Burnley and the teams below us have games in hand, but if you look at where we were a month ago compared to now, it's a completely different situation. And with hope also brings opportunity, I think. And I think if you would have asked me how I would have gone about transfer dealings a month ago, I'd have said, look, there's no point spending because it's not going to be enough to kind of keep us in the division, and there's an inflated price on January transfers, and the calibre of play you can get is often less in January. It just didn't seem worth kind of splurging money up the wall for a side that were bound to already get relegated. And now we've won 2 games in a row, and we're out of the bottom 3, and suddenly you're going, oh my goodness, like maybe all it takes is 15-20 million pounds on a couple of players, and there is a genuine chance of survival because Burnley, Watford and Newcastle have all signed players. Granted, Burnley did let go of Chris Wood, but they've brought in a 20 million pound man up front. So they've all made signings, but Norwich City haven't. And you just look at it and you go, interesting, like maybe we could have just thrown a little bit at it. Now, all of the reports I'm reading, and I think it's been made fairly clear from the off that we weren't going to be doing any business in January. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more outgoings. I must admit, I'm looking at Max Aarons and I'm thinking he was maybe the man that was going to go, but we've kept him, which is almost a signing in itself. Todd Cantwell, by the looks of things, will be leaving. He may have already gone by the time this video is out. The buyers, or at least his club for the rest of the season, looks to be Bournemouth. Now, when I first saw this reported by the Telegraph, I was like, Bournemouth, Championship Bournemouth. Granted, in a fairly solid position to come straight back to the Premier League. I don't feel particularly angry about the Todd Cantwell situation. I just feel sad. I just feel what could have been with Todd. We've kind of got to know Todd on a personal level. I wouldn't say we're friends, but we know each other and we've spoken together. He just strikes me as a really nice, humble young man. And I know that he portrays himself in a certain way on social media, and I think what he does is good, and there's something about him, very much a modern day footballer, a marketer's kind of dream, with the hair and the likes the FIFA and on TikTok and stuff. He is, well, it's why he's got a deal with Puma, and I think that also brings slight negativity, particularly when his performances haven't been that great. And look, there's multiple things you can read into. I think the majority of the stuff you hear probably isn't correct. I think some of the stuff you hear might be correct. I don't think he had the best working relationship with Daniel Farke come the end of his reign at Norwich City. I think that Dean Smith likes him. When we played Southampton and he started him despite Todd not being fit, that felt like a statement to me. And then he played against Aston Villa a couple of weeks later and just looked so far off the pace. And unfortunately, when you're in the Premier League, there is very little opportunity to make it count, especially when you're in them attacking areas, and especially when you're in a position where you've got a Rashica, a Christos Jolis, a Josh Sargent, players that they need to kind of play and put in performances because we've offset a lot of money to bring them in. And if Todd doesn't hit the ground running against Southampton and then Aston Villa, that's kind of season over for him. And for whatever reason, he just hasn't featured at all. I think the really intriguing thing was the fact that he travelled to Watford in our 3-0 win and then didn't even get in the squad, which kind of shows where he's at the moment. Now, I want to see Todd go on and make a real career for himself because I think the talent is there. Hopefully, the opportunity will present itself at Bournemouth to get some game time under his belt, play some football, and I understand that there will be an obligation to buy if they were to get promoted from the Championship this season. Now, they're already going quite well, Bournemouth. The addition of a Premier League player will do them no harm. So it's a shame. I really thought Todd would kick on this season. I saw a tweet earlier from someone, actually, and it was like, what is Todd's level? Because I think we're all slightly confused with that at this point. Is he a championship player, like a top-end championship player? We know he can do it at that level. We've seen him prove himself in the Premier League, but that was quite a while ago, and he hasn't necessarily done it this time around. So to set kind of a valuation and a bracket in which Todd operates well at is really difficult. I'd say he's probably, at this stage, a championship footballer, but I'm sure there is enough in there to become a really established Premier League footballer. But I just hope that Todd gets his head down, works hard, does well at Bournemouth if it is to be the club that he signs at, and I hope that his reputation at Norwich City hasn't been damaged too badly, because he's given us some glorious times. I know full well that his heart is in the correct place. I genuinely believe that he loves this football club dearly, but there's such fine margins in this game. I mean, just look back to pre-season when he got that overhead kick assist against, was it Gillingham or someone? And everyone's like, this is the season, and a couple of things go wrong. Then he's outcast, and then, it's easy to kind of scapegoat him, and rightly so. There has been criticism, which I think has been justified, but I think on the whole it's all been a little bit harsh. So I hope that Todd goes on to do good things, and I think that's going to be the only deadline day dealing for Norwich City, and I just hope that we don't come to regret it come the end of the season, because there is opportunity for Norwich to survive in this league. And if we go down, I do fear for us slightly, because we're not going down with the same squad we had last time. You had a Buendia and a Pukki and an Aarons and a Cantwell and a Oliver Skipp who comes in, and a Jamal Lewis, and you look at that and go, well, they're all going to stay for another season. If we go down, Rashica's off, Norman's off, Kabak's off, Sargent's probably gone, Pukki's not the player he once was, Aarons goes, there's suddenly a massive rebuild. It does feel as if it's a really pivotal season for Norwich, because they have thrown money at it this time, albeit in the summer. So I just hope that we don't come to regret not signing some players in January, because it does feel we're nearly there. One or two more players, and we could nearly be there. Let me know what you think. I'm sure there's a lot of people angry that we haven't spent money. I think the thing we can say is the club have always been honest with how we deal with our finances and operating within the parameters that we've got due to being a self-funded football club. But, you know, I'm sure there are still some people upset with that. Also, let me know on Todd Cantwell. What do you think? Where's it gone wrong for Todd? And are you happy he's off to Bournemouth or not? Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.